Health. Why Ken's wrong. Health issues, including the recent pandemic, are a golden opportunity for Ken Wheeler to spread pseudoscientific bafflegab and science denial. Find out how the angry photographer has been propagating lies about the medical profession and public health initiatives. America's healthcare professions are crucial to its well-being. They offer some of the most advanced healthcare services in the world. America's doctors, nurses, allied health professionals, technicians, and public health authorities all contribute to disease prevention, diagnosis, and treatment. They also drive research and development, leading to advances that benefit patients across the globe. Kentucky Ken rejects conventional medical treatment for several reasons. He dismisses people with advanced education, and he's also convinced himself that all governments and corporations are evil, without exception. On that basis, Kentucky Ken refers to the healthcare professions as the medical mafia. He's also bought into a debunked conspiracy theory that medical mistakes are the third leading cause of death in the United States. This false claim comes from misinterpretations of a 2016 informal paper in the British medical journal, BMJ. The brief, speculative document made a rough guesstimate that potentially 250,000 people per year might be dying because of mistakes in care at hospitals across the United States. In response to the analysis, the co-editors-in-chief of BMJ Quality and Safety wrote, "Not only is it wrong, it risks undermining rather than strengthening the cause of patient safety." Then, in 2020, Yale researchers conducted a much more thorough and verified meta-analysis of all the available mistakes in care studies. They determined that the number was closer to 22,000. Despite these clarifications, the third leading cause of death urban legend keeps making the rounds. As with every conspiracy theory that comes his way, the Theoria Apophasis host has pounced on this debunked factoid. To be clear, doctors do make mistakes, and everyone agrees. Even one preventable death is too many. Through professional standards, reporting systems, peer review, and oversight, the medical profession strives to eliminate malpractice. But after all, doctors are only human. As we all know, the world's healthcare systems have had to cope with more than 700 million cases of COVID-19 over the past 4 grueling years. The good news is that health authorities have administered nearly 14 billion vaccine doses worldwide. That's about 5,000 per day. According to the Journal of Pediatrics and Child Health, COVID vaccinations have saved over 20 million lives and counting. Pandemic measures such as vaccination programs, social distancing, and mask mandates seem to palpably irritate Ken Wheeler. Of course, he's very cagey about how he goes about attacking these vital public health initiatives. One of his favorite ploys is to use childish code words to avoid being accused of science denial and getting kicked off of YouTube. Some of his favorites include the COOF for COVID, cooties for viruses, medical apartheid for social distancing, face diapers for masks, the magic juice for the vaccine, and the jab for vaccination. Kentucky Ken refers to public support for vaccination as evil, twisted, dark, satanic degeneracy. Ironically, despite having denied its existence at the pandemic's outset, the YouTuber behind Theoria Apophasis contracted COVID-19 himself, twice. Being a high-risk patient, he suffered severe symptoms from his first bout of the disease, but eventually COVID ran its course. Over the following few months, the Theoria Apophasis creator continued to rebel against pandemic public health measures. To no one's surprise but his own, he found himself bedridden with an equally intense COVID infection on his 50th birthday. Ken Wheeler insists that all the social distancing guidance we all received during the pandemic came from people with a perverse desire for power over others. It seems to be inconceivable to Kentucky Ken that public health authorities issued the pandemic rules hoping in good faith to save lives. The Theoria Apophasis host calls these guidelines medical apartheid. This is patently ludicrous, since wearing a mask and getting vaccinated are choices one can make, while one's race is not. Like all conspiracy theorists, the angry photographer displays a deep-seated resentment of authority, which translates into an irrational fear of government. In his words, 99% of global misery right now is from politicians and media doom goblins. In the Theoria Apophasis creator's feverish mind, there are two kinds of people in this world. There are people who think that the government cares about them, and there are people who think. Apparently, people who don't share Kentucky Ken's anti-government beliefs are people who don't think. As viewers can see throughout this channel, the reverse is true. This would all be relatively harmless were it not for the fact that the angry photographer has over 300,000 subscribers. We have to assume that a fair number of these viewers are taken in by Ken Wheeler's quack remedies, pseudoscience, and sophistry. That's not such a big deal when we're discussing what Buddha or assorted dead Greeks had to say. In terms of healthcare, though, it's downright dangerous. The Theoria Apophasis creator is going to get someone killed, if he hasn't already. Undermining America's healthcare professions is one of the most reprehensible things a person can do. At best, it's a nuisance, and at worst, it's a threat to society. It's essential that people disregard Ken Wheeler when he discusses the health professions. Lives depend on it.